If having a soul means being able to feel love and loyalty and gratitude, then animals are better off than a lot of humans. James Alfred Wright. Thank you all for attending the celebration of the life and accomplishments of the late Dr. James Alfred Wright. As we honor his memory within the veterinary institutions he would have been proud to work alongside. Like many across the world, I myself am a pet owner, and I'm forever thankful for the accomplishments both in the veterinary field and in the literary field of Dr. Wright. In his work, I've not only been able to understand my pet better on a physiological level, but I understand his needs, and then I also enjoy the books. Today, I will speak to you about his life, work, and legacy. Let us start at the beginning. Dr. Wright was born in 1916 in Sunderland County, England, and while Dr. Wright is English by birth, he spent the majority of his youth in Scotland, remarking that his favorite pastime throughout his youth was walking his dogs in the countryside with his friends. In the year 1930, his life was forever changed when the principal at Glasgow Veterinary College gave a lecture at his high school that inspired him so deeply that he set out to become a veterinarian. Though it took Dr. Wright 6 years to complete a 5-year degree due to health issues and difficulty with the curriculum, he still was able to attain his degree. The first position he was able to find work at was back in Sutherland. Though quickly he tired of the hustle and bustle of city life and moved back to Yorkshire. And then subsequently found work in a town of Thrisk. In 1942, he briefly was enlisted in the Royal Air Force during the Second World War. He was later deemed unfit to fly combat missions and was discharged due to medical reasons. He went back to the town of Thrisk, where he would continue his veteran practice. And there, he would write his most popular book. His life in the medical field would go on to heavily inspire the books he authored in a collection of short stories, namely about animals. After authoring such popular short stories as All Creatures Great and Small, he received a huge amount of fame and got fan mail from all across the Western Hemisphere. And in his chagrin, many fans attempted to see him at all hours. This was a constant hassle for him through his life. And even after he attempted to take a pen name, he was still sought out by fans. The pen name he chose was his more commonly known name of James Hilliard, and was still recognized by many in the public. He then decided to move to a more rural area where the seclusion would suit him and his continuing veterinary practice better. After moving to a nearby town of Thirlby, he continued to work as a veterinarian even till his eventual retirement and death. Though he may have passed on, his writings are not forgotten. The legacy left behind both a huge variety of literary and film. Some of the most well-known work were his children's books, such as Creatures Large and Small, but other titles such as Moses the Kitten and Smudge, the Little Lost Lamb, were huge additions to his literary work. Adult versions of his books included a few titles such as Jane Harliot's Yorkshire and other cat and dog stories, namely focused around the pets he had growing up. The film and television series based on his own works was two different ones that achieved massive circulation throughout England and Scotland and even into America, which are All Creatures Great and Small, the film, and It Shouldn't Have Happened to a Vet, also a film. Today I share with you the Dr. Wright's life, work, and legacy, and I feel it's only honoring that we end with one of his quotes. At times it seemed unfair that I should be paid for my work. Driving out in the early morning with fields glittering under the first pale sunshine and the wisps of mist still hanging in the high tops. James Alfred Wright. Thank you and have a great night.